Welcome back to TechKidFX for another price prediction update, and in this video I'll be giving you a price prediction update on LUNAC, whose current price stands at the $0.002207 mark, and here on TradingView the market is down by 5.94%. And in this video I want to give you the key scenarios that I expect to play out, basing my analysis on the Elliot wave structures, the Fibonacci's, the key areas of support and resistances, and also draw out any key chart pattern that you have information on this chart if there is any. And I'll kickstart the video by giving a brief of what has been happening on the LUNAC chart. LUNAC, from these low prices that we had been trading within, we saw a very nice bounce to the upper side, obeying this Elliot wave structure, having our wave 5 taking us back to around the $0.000059 mark. And having seen that movement to the upper side, obeying that Elliot wave structure, we can now name that movement to the upper side as a higher Elliot wave count 1. And whatever we expect next after seeing the formation of a higher Elliot wave count 1 is a movement to the lower side, which is a corrective wave in a movement that we can term as a higher Elliot wave count 2. And I believe we have seen such a movement right here, making our low in the formation of a second wave at around the $0.00018 mark. And whatever we expect next after seeing the formation of a higher Elliot wave count 2 is an impulsive movement in the formation of a higher Elliot wave count 3, and I believe that is what we are still seeing here on the LUNAC chart. And because a wave 3 is an impulsive wave, we also expect to see fractal waves in formation like what we have seen over here in the formation of a higher Elliot wave count 1, where we have seen these fractal waves in formation. We also expect to see fractal waves in formation right here, and I believe we are seeing such a structure right here, having these as the first wave to the upper side. Then we have seen the formation of a wave 2, and initially in my previous videos I was having my wave 2 low at around the $0.000022 mark, but in my today's video I have my low at around the $0.00019 mark, and that is because LUNAC made a new low here on its chart, and that is the new low for that second wave. Then I'm expecting a very nice bounce to the upper side in the formation of a wave 3, then a wave 4, and then a wave 5. And once you see the formation of a wave 5 to the upper side, then that will be completing a higher Elliot wave count 1 to the upper side, which is a fractal wave within that higher Elliot wave count 1 to the upper side. And getting a little bit into the details of the formation of this Elliot wave structure that I have drawn out over here, after making our low and seeing that bounce to the upper side, making the high for that first wave, we expected a very nice retracement over here in the formation of a second wave, and you can see we have retraced to the lower side. And initially I had my target areas for the minimum retracement areas, the area between the fib level 0.5 and the fib level 0.618, and you can see we retraced into that target area and managed to even break out of the target area to the lower side. And after seeing that breakout to the lower side, we have continued pushing lower, and that movement has now taken us back to around the $0.000019 mark, and that is the new low for that second wave to the lower side. And it's still valid because in the formation of this second wave we have not yet made a low that is below the low that we have for the first wave. In case we retrace a little bit lower and make a new low over here, then this won't be a valid wave 2 anymore. And after seeing that low, we have been seeing a very nice bounce to the upper side over here in what we can term as this higher Elliot wave count 3 to the upper side. And because it's an impulsive movement also, we also expect to see fractal waves in formation within that third wave to the upper side. And if I zoom in so that we can see this better, after making our low down there in the formation of a second wave, we have been seeing a very nice bounce to the upper side, obeying the Elliot wave structures also, having this as the first wave to the upper side, then a wave 2, making our low at around the $0.00022 mark. Then I'm expecting a very nice bounce to the upper side in the formation of a wave 3, then a wave 4, and then a wave 5 to the upper side. And once we complete that movement to the upper side in the formation of this wave 5, that will be completing a higher Elliot wave count 1, which is a fractal wave within this higher Elliot wave count 3 that we have right here. And I think it's good that I changed the degree of this Elliot wave structure that I have drawn out over here to have it as a minor like that. so that we can see that better. It's a fractal wave within a higher Elliott wave count to the upper side. So that is what I'm expecting over here. And to get to the key scenarios that I expect to play out in the formation of this second wave right here, you can see we have continued pushing lower, and this is still a valid wave 2 because we have not made a new low below the low that we have for that first wave, meaning that is a valid wave 2. And using that target area, that is that low, we can sketch a target area to the upper side in the formation of this higher Elliott wave count 3 to the upper side over here, assuming the low is in at around the $0.00021 mark. And I can use the trend based Fibonacci, connecting it from the low of that first wave to the high of that first wave, then dragging the fibs to the low of that second wave, and that gives me a minimum target area to the upper side at the fib level 1.618, and that is at around the $0.000034 mark. So that is the minimum that I would expect that bounce to the upper side in the formation of a wave 3 to the upper side to do. And in that movement to the upper side in the formation of that third wave, we also need to manage to break above key areas of resistances, like the area of resistance at around the $0.000024 mark. Once we manage to break above that and have a successful retest of that key area of resistance, then we can start expecting that nice bounce to the upper side in the formation of that wave 3 to the upper side. And now that we have with a higher Elliott wave count 3 here on our chart, we can sketch out a minimum target area to the upper side in the formation of these higher Elliott wave count 3 using the trend based Fibonacci, also connecting it from the low of that first wave to the high of the wave 1, then dragging the fibs to the low of the second wave, and that gives me a minimum target area at the fib level 1.618, and that is at around the $0.005126 mark. So that is the minimum that I would expect that higher Elliott wave count 3 to the upper side within that higher Elliott wave count 1 to the upper side to do. So let's be patient and see how that plays out. Also taking a look at the indicators to see what movements will be supported here on the RSI. On the RSI, we are trading at around the 34 mark, meaning we have massive room for us to support any movements to the upper side. Also taking a look at the MACD, here on the MACD you can see we had printed a bearish cross, but we are starting to lose the momentum, and there's a possibility that soon we might be able to print a bullish cross. So let's be patient and see how that plays out, and I'll keep you updated.